Hi, Andrew. Thanks for agreeing to be interviewed by us.
That's my pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about, give us a little bit of an overview on why you do what you do, and talk a little bit about your experience as a permaculturalist in New York City and also in Allendale?
Certainly. Why I do what I do is because I feel that it's necessary for human beings to participate with living on this planet in a way that's generative, that's restorative, that's a healthy way of living. And I've gravitated towards this discipline of permaculture and teaching it in cities in particular because so many of our world's population today is living in cities and really needs an understanding of how to live in ways that are appropriate and in harmony with how nature works. I mean, to bring back, I feel, the real beauty and power of 4.5 billion years of what life has been doing on this planet, which has really been making the Earth more comfortable, more hospitable, giving us a comfortable ride in outer space as we rocket around the sun, 65,000 miles per hour on this dynamic living Earth. Is something that our species in Maine is not really paying attention to, and I've grown up with a sense of paying attention to where the sun rises, where the sun sets, that we're on a planet, that there's limited resources, that human beings have been here for a fairly long time, millions of years, changed the Earth in ways that we can begin to be conscious of now. And personally, what's brought me to New York City and how to do permaculture design in New York is exciting because it's looking at these concepts of how can we take sunlight, how can we take human nutrient flows, how can we take the waste stream of New York City and turn it into a restorative, generative force here to be able to grow food for people on rooftops, to be able to heal brownfields that have been contaminated by irresponsible, dirty industries, with taking food scraps out of landfills and instead using them to help us grow food and heal brownfields and have a sense of what it means to be a human being on Earth in a city, which is often a place where people don't feel like they can connect to their humanity. And I feel that my relationship to my own sense of humanity is really what I'm the most interested in sharing as a permaculture teacher, is deepening our understanding of how can we adjust, how can we adapt our ways of living to really be more in synthesis with how it is that nature works. How can we begin to capitalize off of these processes? What I'm doing in Ellenville is creating with my partner Adriana there a permaculture educational center so that students, people who study this discipline of restorative, regenerative design, where we take our power as humans and apply it to heal landscapes and to heal human relationships, can come and see a farm that's been designed specifically to show gravity-fed water, off-grid buildings, outdoor showers that are heated by passive solar, so that we can begin to do what I call celebrate the abundance of living on a planet where we have ample sunlight, we have ample rainfall, we have lots of human power and beauty to be doing positive work, and to take the materials that are often squandered in a modern infrastructure like human manure and urine and plant food scraps from eating, and have all of those effluents from the way people live be used to grow elderberries, to be used to grow blueberries, to be used to make things prosper in our landscape that will actually heal our water quality, our overall well-being will be improved by simply starting to take this design process of permaculture and applying it to all of the systems that right now have not been considerate of the longer-term relationship. How does this planet work? How can we use gravity and sunlight and rainwater and existing processes in a city to be restorative, to create yields, to not be combined in monstrous hybrid effluents like municipal sludge from sewage treatment plants and landfills, where we can't read them, and they're now contaminating groundwater or our waterways so that we can't eat fish out of them, we can't go swimming in them. And people have to go pay money to go swimming in a colloidal silver public swimming pool because a chlorinated public swimming pool is a carcinogenic cancer risk. And that's what the modern infrastructure has resorted to as its way to deal with a pollution problem that's really a source separation issue. So permaculture design is about creating our intelligence filters and enhancing our understanding as human beings at a design level of how to improve these cityscapes, how to improve what we're doing in our infrastructures, to make them restorative, to connect them in simple, low technological ways that are human-based as we create a new green jobs economy in our cities where we take things like these food scraps from our restaurants and from our coffee shops and use them to grow mushrooms that we sell back at the farmers market to chefs and restaurants where people can be growing on their rooftop in a greenhouse the arugula and the mesclun greens. All of the jobs and all of the really nutritive healing power that comes from those two activities of taking scraps out of trash and taking human effluents out of sewage treatment plants will all be huge efforts to begin to cooperate our cities with how the planet has been working over 4.5 billion years to be able to take things like solar flux and change in climate to be able to grow more of itself. And what we're doing is using these processes of change, using these processes of evolution to restore, to retrofit, to adjust humanity in its modern form in these cityscapes, to actually begin to adapt to how it is that this planet works. Permaculture is a thorough, thoughtful design process by which we go about adapting both as individuals in our homes at a site-specific level. How do we become more harmonized with how nature works and grow more of what it is that we consume and use the nutrients that we have to create yields in our homes. But also we can take that same concept and scale it up to regional planning, to whole city landscapes of urban design, where we begin to look at how can a city begin to cycle its nutrients on site, get yields, use the sunlight that's landing on the city to grow things that help the city to stay cooler and to be able to provide a beautiful and restorative landscape for human culture to flourish in, rather than having a petrochemical dominated by the motor vehicle hardscape that is causing people to have exorbitantly high cancer and asthma problems because of a cityscape that right now lacks finesse, doesn't cooperate with the cycles that are here now and available to us to tap into. And that's what's exciting and what attracts me to permaculture. And why I want to attract more people to studying with me at my site in Ellenville is because I've put a lot of effort into making that a place that is a unique example of what over 20 years of cultivating my understanding of how to do this ecological Aikido dance of cooperating with nature in a way that works with our local northeastern bioregion. It's our place where we can show you as an immersion experience. How are we going to live in manners that are restorative, that celebrate taking a long hot shower so that the water that is coming out of our shower is being provided by gravity, fell on the site by rain, use no pumps and no energy inputs, and when the water leaves the shower it's helping to grow things that we can make medicine out of and feed ourselves with. And this is a vision not of a less bad, purgative, ascetic process. It's a vision of celebrating the abundance of being restorative participants in a multi-layered evolutionary process that goes back over millions of years of human history on this planet. We are positive, life-bringing organisms on Earth who have restorative healing power that needs to be applied in ways that I think are exciting and have a really rich amount of opportunities before us in this modern era to begin to reclaim our health, to begin to reclaim our wealth and our autonomy, and feel once again as human beings that we're participating in something that we would rather see in the world. And permaculture is that process by which we know and can measure that we are achieving, moving towards actualizing that world that we would rather see. Let's do it together. Let's do it in ways that celebrate our humanity. Let's do it in ways that cooperate with the natural cycles of how evolution has been working for 4.5 billion years, and embrace our humanity, and embrace our cooperative power to begin to really heal ourselves and heal this planet, all by simply recognizing that we haven't been using what it is that we've been given as organisms living on an incredibly dynamic planet that is making it possible for us to have a comfortable ride in outer space, moving around the sun, and not be fried by the thermonuclear blast of this furnace of the sun, or be frozen to death by the dire cold of outer space. These are the things that the biology of this planet is providing us for us, and that's why I like to say I'm banking on biology, not on technology, to be how it is that we solve our needs in this modern era.
In conclusion, do you have any message for other Permies or for people who might be interested in permaculture? Just a short sort of like what you can do to get involved, or what you can do to start learning more about permaculture. Like a final message to people who are interested?
I'd say begin to reach out to people in your community who are doing like-minded work. Reach within yourself. Meditate and sit with what is it that you feel really passionate about, driven to do in this world. What are the things that are your real dreams and passions? I think as each of us sits and contemplates and really feels more deeply how we feel, that we'll tune into that collective earth wisdom that our hearts and our minds really know, and begin to gravitate towards doing positive work and restorative work. So in order to get involved in permaculture, for people who are just new to this and getting interested in it, I would say connect with other people in your area. Look for a permaculture meetup. Look for a permaculture network that's in your region or as close as you can find to your region, and connect with those like-minded projects. And look for people who are trying to grow food locally. Look for people who are trying to produce energy locally. Look for people who are trying to reclaim their political autonomy through becoming more independent and self-reliant as far as being able to build their own buildings. And those are the people that you're going to learn the skills that permaculture is suggesting are important. Whether or not the modern world continues to exist in its present shape or form, we all will benefit from knowing more about how to make our own clothing, how to heal ourselves with our own medicine, how to build our own shelters, how to take things like black water and gray water and the classic materials that all biological animals on the planet create, that in our modern human living we seem to have forgotten how to have them be a beneficial part of the natural world. In other words, how do we take good old human poop and pee and not have it end up polluting the landscape and having it be something that creates yields, which honestly I may be perceived as somebody who talks a lot about sewage and urine and feces, but if you look at our species and you say, could we address a huge array of problems in our world by focusing on a particular issue and a particular set of dynamics? And I would say yes, and that one of those in particular is the waste stream, and simply starting to take food and things that can be turned into soil out of the waste stream is a huge revolutionary radical act by which you will change the problems of the world around you in ways that are tangible, give you feedback, will make you feel like you are participating in something that you can see is an ancient process on this earth. There are things that are called biological imperatives that you will unlock by simply growing food, putting your hand in the soil, and participating in your community in positive ways.
Awesome. Perfect. How many minutes?
14.